Hi there. This is a conversation between me and my buddy Matt Porwoll talking about booking etiquette. What does it mean to be on a soft hold? Or what do you do if you have a conflict between two jobs or a sudden cancellation? I'm Ben Bloodwell. Over the last 18 years, I've been lucky enough to shoot many documentaries and documentary-style commercials. And recently, I've begun conducting these casual conversations with other DPs to give you the opportunity to listen in and hopefully grab a few bits of wisdom from all of our experiences, both good and bad. If you want to learn more about Matt Porwoll, you should click the link. It'll take you directly to our full conversation, and we cover a lot of topics. But if you just want to listen to us talking about booking etiquette, you should stay tuned. You're in exactly the right place.
But if it's a film that I'm working on, and I understand that we're waiting for the birth of someone's child, it's not going to come like, well, it didn't happen. You booked me for today, and so you're going to have to pay me. It's like, no, I get it. Like it's loose. You know,
so people induce all the time for worse reasons than a film production. We talked about booking etiquette, which I'm always fascinated by because I have my own way of talking to production when they call me, and it's so clumsy. And then like my own system on my calendar, like it involves like a series of question marks after the person's name on my calendar. Like I'm working with Matt Porwoll, question mark, question mark. Oh, 3 question marks means it's probably not happening, but oh, he's down to 2 question marks. But I know there's like
dot.
Yeah, exactly. There's like an official way of doing that. Like people talk about, every once in a while I get a job where they'll be like, this is a soft hold right now. So if you get another call us. And then that gives us the opportunity to challenge it, you know? And I'm always like, ooh, this is so official. Like, I don't know. Is that, in your experience, do you have a lot of that conversation, or do you present that to them? Like when they first say, oh, hold these dates for me. Like, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, but you said that there's a system, and so I've been told. I've never really actually seen how that system works. But yeah, I mean, first off, you will be wide open for a month, and then you'll get 5 phone calls for the exact same day.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so therein lies the problem of what do I say to all of them?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't feel like I ever use the terms, or even really productions at this point for me use the terms of soft hold, first challenge, that kind of stuff. But it always is a very open-ended conversation where they'll call, and I'll be honest with them most of the time of, you know, are you available this day? And I said, I could be, I think so.
Right.
I've been asked, you know, about something else, but 9 times out of 10, nobody's actually asking you to hold a day.
Right.
They're like, we're thinking about what's your window look like next week.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I now have 3 windows of time that people are trying to fit. So either the 3 of you get on a conference call and figure it out, or I'm going to have to start turning some stuff down, or just making a decision of what am I willing to let go if it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I also try to, if you're honest with production, 9 times out of 10, they'll understand because they have multiple people on hold who are challenging them too.
Right.
And so it's, you know, I might have something else that is coming up, or let me check back with the other production and see where they're standing, and I'll get back to you. I will pencil you in so I know that this is a possibility, and then I will call you back. If I haven't, check back in with me. So it's just trying to keep an open dialogue and less about like the second you get another call. I'm like, at the end of the day, if you haven't confirmed me where you will pay a cancellation if it goes away, then everything is open.
Right.
And I've talked to a lot of people who, it sounds so crass, but they're just like, I'll put everything as a hold, but until they confirm, like I will drop it last minute if somebody else calls and is able to take it, whether they have like first right of cancellation or not. It's like, if you're not going to book me, what are we going to do? So I don't want to go that far.
It's tough in documentary, especially, right? I mean,
well, and it's
you're dealing with real people's lives. Things get canceled at the last minute. You never can
100%.
Yeah.
No. And I fully respect that because everybody is very open about why the window is as wide as it is and what they're trying to do. But that's, again, one of those things of when someone calls and say, what does the next 3 months look like for you? And I'm like, solid question. But like, why do you ask in such a way? Like, give me a sense of what you're trying to get to.
Right.
goes back to everything else we talked about. But then the decision of holding that window open is, am I on this film for the duration?
Right.
Is this a film that I like doing?
Right.
If it's someone with a new production company I've never worked with and say, are you available this week? And I have a couple holds on the film that I'm shooting this week, then I'm going to say, no, I'm not available.
Right.
Even if I am, because
Right.
it might mess that up. And so it's like, what are you willing to let go of versus hold on to that might down the line go away? It's just a
It's so hard.
balancing act, but it's such a pain.
Yeah.
Because nothing ever lines up.
No, it is exactly. I mean, the last few months have been exactly that for me. It's been almost insane. Like, it'll be like nothing. Then one day, every person I've ever worked with in my life calls me. And it is never, I mean, it's always, the first call is always this person you've never worked with before. And the job's like, oh, okay, I'll do this job. And I got nothing else going on. And then after that is the job you really want to do. And then you're in this tough position. Like, well, I did tell these people I'm available. That's where, I mean, and it's also hard. I think it's harder as directors of photography, frankly, than most other crew, because I think in most other crew positions, it's a lot easier just to say, like, look, this other thing came up.
Something else came
It's my
up.
long-term job that I've been working on, which for me is always the first priority. If there's a production that's committed to me to say, like, well, you're the DP on this project, and we're not just hiring random DPs every shoot, then those people are going to get the because obviously they're taking care of me, and I'm invested in this thing. I want to make sure. But it's so hard, especially once you get closer to the shoot day, to tell somebody, like, it turns out I'm not going to be available. Whereas I think if you're a sound mixer or you're a camera assistant or any other role, it's kind of like, oh shit, I was really looking forward to working with you, but that's cool. Oh, you hired so-and-so, they're going to do great. But this is not like, this is like, we're hiring you and your personal, aesthetic, and there's judgment that we know you're going to be great on. And there aren't, not to say like, oh, you're better or worse than these people. Sometimes that's the case, but it's also just like, we've decided you're
moving the direction of how the film is
right.
coming together.
Right. And we've had all these conversations probably. And so now do we have to have all these conversations again with the next DP who might be just as talented or whatever, but we've just invested so much time. I always have a hard time knowing when it's okay to replace myself. But then the other part, the key to that for me, I feel like, is having a list of people that I can call who I know, like if I call Matt Porwoll, if you're available by some miracle and willing to work for the terrible rate I work for, give him a try. And then I'll know, like, okay, I'm not leaving these people in a lurch, I mean, I love recommending people whenever possible, because you get the bonus of also that person now, like, I did a favor for that person. I got that person a job. That's going to come back to me somehow, like whatever, like good. And it's also just good for our community of people, like, this rising tide type of idea. So, I mean, I try to do that, but it is often it's hard to convince people, even if people have like great resumes and all that. They're like, yeah, but you're doing the job. Do they know? And it's hard because you also don't want to like demean your job at all. You don't want to be like, yeah, they can do it.
I'm never replaceable, but in this moment, I'm actually very replaceable.
Right. It's always that conversation. He is the second best cinematographer that I know. Like, he won't do as well as I do, but he might do well. And then I have to call you and be like, listen, man, don't do a really good job. I want you to do one thing that just leaves a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth. That's all I ask. Just
right. Don't steal this from me.
Yeah, one shot, just a little soft. That's all I ask.
It's back to like, if it's a new production that you've never worked with, a new director, a new producer, like, I don't know how. Sometimes people just throw stuff to the wall and see what sticks. It's like, oh, I'm going to book you for this shoot. We don't even know if that person's going to be in the film yet.
Right.
I'm like, well, that's not really a way to book people.
Right.
Like, you should incur some expense to like guide you into making better decisions.
Right.
I mean, what do you do? Do you ever like go through the quote unquote proper method of like, okay, you're on a hold and then I will call you to challenge, but then that never goes the way that they're like, well, we still don't know yet. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's
like,
exactly.
What do you do?
Yeah, that's what I do. Like, I endlessly call people. They get sick of hearing from me, because what usually ends up happening is there's a job I really want to do, and they said, we think it's going to be these dates, but stand by. And then another job comes that I don't want to do as much, and they're like, oh, we're shooting on this day, and I have to constantly harass that first project. Like, listen, I want to do your job, but these people can commit to that day. And then you're in a tough position because you're basically holding these people hostage. You're saying, well, so usually what happens is I find you can at least get someone to eliminate a day as a possibility. Like, they really want to shoot Friday. I know you wanted to shoot that week. Can we at least say we're not going to shoot this on Friday? And then but I very rarely do I get the very official. I think that's something that happens in narrative because they can plan, they have to plan so far ahead. So it's like soft hold, blah, 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 because it's like they have a schedule when they can do all these things. And they know when they book you that unless something goes drastically wrong and probably involves like an insurance claim, they're going to be able to, work with you. So
be there.
Yeah. So in our world, you just have to be cognizant of the fact that the people usually aren't in control of these schedules. They have all these variables of things. And I don't have a good answer. I was hoping you did.
No,
but
I think it's just,
yeah,
it ultimately comes down to which one are you willing to put more risk into?
Right. And I will occasionally.
If this project is worth it to me, and I mean, also so many times I just get a feeling from the producer of like, you're kind of just dragging me along until you figure out what's happening.
Right.
And that doesn't make me feel great, where somebody else is like, you are literally waiting for the world to get back to you about what is happening.
Right.
Fine.
And they're keeping
I
you
will
up to date
go
constantly.
on that ride with you. Yeah.
That's right. There's some people who won't even call you. Like, that's the worst thing is like you have a sort of soft hold and the date comes closer and closer. They're not getting back to you. And then finally they write back the day before. Oh yeah, that thing went away. It's like, well,
I know. I just got a call not that long ago of we have a development shoot that's coming up and it's like really short notice. It's going to be, this was like Wednesday and we're shooting on Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
And I was like, okay, no, I can do it.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we'll get back to you with details. And that was the next question of like, what's the project about?
Right.
Who's directing this? Like, what gear do you need just so I can start wrapping my head around it? And they're like, we have a production call about it this afternoon. I'll get back to you. Don't hear anything. I'm like, so the shoot's on Saturday. So it's like Thursday night. I call and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I never got back to you. Yeah, it went away. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
You called me about the urgency of how soon this is. And like, did you not factor in the fact that I might want to make plans this weekend?
That's very typical. And meanwhile, and you're planning and you've not only, I was making plans. I'm not able to just go to bed at night with like, oh, we'll just think about that tomorrow. Cause I don't know that I'm already in my head planning out like with the, whatever little bit of information they've sent me. They're like, okay, oh, it's a true crime thing. Okay. All right. Well, we're probably going to need something, I'm already thinking about crew we should call or, so they've had you running your gears. They don't even know.
Some people pack for vacation.
Yeah.
Like 10 days before the flight.
Yeah.
I pack 3 hours before.
Yeah.
But I pack my gear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2.5 weeks before.
As quick as, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So I think that's the thing. What I was going to say about the booking thing, I think what I try to do, I always, first of all, when they say, are you available? I say, I may be. I have to check like 100% of the time. And I'm sorry. Like, I don't think I'm being dishonest. I do have to check. But even if I see it a square open, I never say I'm absolutely available, except for there's certain clients. Absolutely. I'm like, I will do it no matter what. But I also have to check with my wife and everybody else. There's a million things I might have forgotten about. But also what I try to do is say like, yeah, like that week, I'm pretty open, but I am working on one or two long-term things that have expressed interest in that week. And I try to be really honest about like, and it's hard too, because you don't want to like make them feel like their job is lesser than those other jobs, But yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't think there is a good, I think it is like, it's kind of what makes our industry interesting and fun is the sort of human, it always is going to be human and not like, scheduled really hard and like, but it's the downside to it is you just have to be honest with people and like, yeah.
Well, and it's funny because I will also put this out there that the vast majority of producers, production companies, directors that I've worked with, they all get it. Like they're not, if this is a conversation that they're having with themselves, trying to figure out their own lives and schedule a shoot, talking with the subjects, trying to book local crew who are just day players. Like we all understand the situation. And so when they call and say, they're not going to look bad at you if you say, I might be available, but I need to check. Like,
right.
Everybody gets it.
Right.
And, and oftentimes if you're on a project long term, if they're able to work around your schedule, they try to do that. Like,
right.
Nobody's out to screw you. It's just stuff gets canceled last minute and randomly all the time for various reasons.
Right.
But I think we've gotten, like, it's frustrating for us still, but I think we've also gotten used to this is just the way that life works. Like, what do you mean somebody knows that they can book a vacation 6 months in advance? Like,
right.
I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months.
Yeah. Forget it. Yeah.
But, for the rest of the world, it's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Like, trying to schedule visits with parents and family. They're like, what do you mean you have to change the date a week out? I'm like, well, I got a job. They're like, how do you live your life like that? And I'm like, I don't know, I've been doing it for a while.
It seems kind of great, normal, actually.
It is kind of great.
So kill fees in the end for you, I know there's no hard and fast rule for it, but they're the one, I think for me, 24 hours is like the rule. Like, I will insist on a kill fee for me and the crew, 24 hours. And sometimes it can be a little bit, depending on the project, if it's really low budget, like it has to be something, I don't know. But there's no hard and fast rule. And usually the rule is the day, like what you were going to pay me tomorrow, you have to pay me now. I'm sorry. Like, I can't work on anything else. I can't book something that quickly because I don't often have that conversation. And really probably should have that conversation more often, because once it comes up, you find out we had two very different ideas of what the proper thing to do is. And you never want to be like, in the end, it's stupid. I mean, it's one of those like short-term gain things to really insist on a kill fee, when if they start getting really pissed off. I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like if it's the next day, I'm getting a kill fee. Like, I'm like, sorry, you guys, you had me booked it, and I'm sorry, whatever happened that it got canceled. But if it's like a week out or something, we put all this work into it and the project goes away, and I feel like, it was like a week or two of work, and I really feel like it's very hard to have that conversation gingerly in a way, because you don't want to throw away all the future work this person could give you just because you got really stingy about, like, oh, no, you got to pay for that whole week for me, but then also you don't want to have this conversation constantly ahead of time, because that starts raising red flags to production. Like, all this guy talks about is getting kill fees if this thing goes away, Yeah,
you're like, because I've done this long enough to see how many times you cancel a shoot.
Yeah, exactly. But there's that idea of, like, if somebody challenges, right? Like, I was a hold, somebody called me for that day, it might be a week from now. Do you ever say to that person, to the project that was holding you the first, okay, I'm going to take this other job unless you could commit to this job, and if it cancels, you pay me a kill fee? You never. No. I know. I don't think I ever have that conversation either.
I think, and it's like, again, I think that's a much easier conversation to have in the narrative scripted world, of a schedule.
Right.
But like, it never, like, to me, that sounds really odd. Of like, okay, well, some other random, not fully ready to go project has also asked about those days. So now I'm going to push back. I think I just like to have conversations with people.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, generally it's just the number of times I do have to push back on productions to say, you've been asking about this for a while. You still don't have an answer. Like, I really want to do your project, and I have other requests for that time frame, and I really need to get back to them one way or the other.
Right.
Like, that's how I challenge.
Yeah.
Is just, if you can't make a decision soon, I'm going to have to go with one of the other ones, but I really want to do this with you.
Right.
And then if they respond like, we still just don't know, then it's up to me to, am I willing to risk it and hope?
Right.
Or take the money and run. I mean, it
is true. It becomes very transactional to say, like, well, they're challenging, so now there'll be a kill fee. It does feel very, and that is sort of what we like about the industry, but also it's not meant to be that transactional. It's kind of like, we're figuring it out.
Right. And I mean, this is also a business, whether it's transactional to that degree or not. Like, people don't take it personal. They
Right.
understand.
Right.
You know, we all need to make a living. So it's, you know,
Right.
they're like, oh, I really wish you didn't have to do that because
Right.
we might know in the next 12 hours, but
Right.
we might not. So I get it. So
Right.
do what you got to do, you know, and they're fine with it. And they'll still call you again.
I feel like 9 times out of 10, I make that call. Like I say, I'm going to take this, and then the other job cancels, and then the other job, the original job, booked somebody else, and it happened. It's like, God damn it.
Right. It's insanity because we keep repeating the same.
Yeah. It's,
Oh,
there's
no,
way.
next time I'll choose the first one.
Yeah, and then next, it's like what's it called? 3-card Monty. Like which job, which one has the actual date in it? Yeah, we got to hang out sometime soon. For
We got it. Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Awesome.
All right. Well, this was great. Thanks,
All right,
Ben.
Thanks again. All right, take it easy.
All right. See ya.
Bye. Okay, it seems to have worked. Oh. I'll do a little tail slate for me.